Going Dutch Season 2, Episode 8, Recap. Truth Serum sparks major confessions. Fox's Going Dutch thrives on absurd military comedy, and this week's episode leans fully into that strength. Tinker, Tailor, Colonel, Spy mixes espionage paranoia, truth serum chaos, and long-simmering romantic tension to create one of the season's most entertaining installments. The result is a weird, goofy, and surprisingly revealing episode that finally pushes several character dynamics into the open. The episode opens with Captain Maggie Quinn, Taylor Miziak, dealing with the return of her ex-boyfriend, CIA agent Rick Silver, Parker Young. Rick claims he's taken a break from the CIA and wants to reconnect with Maggie. Naturally, Maggie's solution is to hook him up to a polygraph for 3 hours to make sure he's telling the truth. So far, Rick seems to pass the test. Maggie even proudly tells Sergeant Dana Conway, Lassie Mosley, that Rick really likes her, which she interprets as proof she can focus on her career without distractions. Colonel Patrick Quinn, Dennis Leary, however, immediately smells trouble. When he learns Rick is supposedly on a sabbatical from the CIA just to spend time with Maggie, his suspicion goes into overdrive. According to Quinn, lying during a polygraph is practically part of CIA training. His fatherly instincts, mixed with his signature brand of paranoia, convince him something much more sinister is happening. Determined to prove Rick is up to no good, Quinn recruits Sergeant Conway as his unlikely partner. Conway is more than willing to help if it means freeing Maggie from Rick's orbit. Their conversation quickly spirals into one of the episode's funniest exchanges, especially when Quinn calls CIA headquarters to report his suspicions. Conway asks if he is snitching on Rick. Quinn insists he is snitching on a bunch of snitches who are snitching on snitches. When the CIA puts him on hold, Conway is stunned that the world's premier intelligence agency apparently has terrible customer service. Meanwhile, Major Abraham Shaw, Danny Pudi, discovers Corporal Elias Papadakis, Hal Cumpston, sleeping in the base laundry room. Papadakis explains that his barracks roommate, Specialist Gideon, Bill Kotkamp, keeps watching Gilmore Girls, forcing him to seek a quieter place to sleep. The situation becomes awkward when Papadakis notices the laundry office contains a cot, bedside table, and framed photo. Shaw reluctantly admits he's temporarily living there while waiting for Captain Celeste Shaw, Milana Vaintrub, to move her belongings out of their shared home. Papadakis is free to stay in the laundry area, just not Shaw's office space. Quinn's suspicions escalate when he returns to his quarters and finds a stranger inside. The intruder has already located all of Quinn's hidden weapons except the one beneath a false floor. He introduces himself as Alistair MacLeod, Katie Killarney, an MI6 agent investigating Quinn's call to Langley. Quinn makes it clear he dislikes both the CIA and British intelligence. In his warped view, CIA agents specialize in druggin' and buggin', while British spies excel at tea-peepin' and creepin'. MacLeod politely corrects him. MI6 prefers peeking and sneaking. Despite their differences, the two men realize they might be dealing with a serious problem. MacLeod reveals a set of schematics for the Stroopsdorf base, found in a dead drop under a bench. The discovery suggests there may be a mole operating inside the base. Both immediately suspect Rick. Rather than waiting months for surveillance, Quinn decides on a faster approach. He invites Rick to the conference room for a drink of scotch, which, unsurprisingly, contains truth serum. The plan works a little too well. After drinking the entire glass, Rick begins confessing all sorts of things before MacLeod even starts questioning him. Quinn admits he used the whole bottle of serum instead of a single drop, leaving MacLeod horrified. When Maggie arrives to hear Quinn's evidence, Rick blurts out that he's been drugged with truth serum. Maggie rolls her eyes at her father's latest conspiracy theory. Rick eventually reveals the truth. He isn't spying on Stroopsdorf at all. The CIA reported him AWOL because he caused a scene at an airport after refusing to remove his flip-flops for TSA screening. The supposed espionage plot suddenly looks much less convincing. Still under the serum's effects, Rick confesses that he does merely really like Maggie. He loves her. Despite Rick's explanation, Quinn and MacLeod remain convinced there must be a mole somewhere. MacLeod reviews security footage overnight and narrows the suspects down to 3 possibilities. Unfortunately, the truth serum was only designed to handle 3 people. By the time Quinn gathers multiple suspects in the library, including Maggie, Conway, Papadakis, and others, the dosage level becomes dangerously high. MacLeod warns that the situation could escalate into what he calls a truth orgy, where everyone reveals their deepest secrets whether they want to or not. That's Exactly what happens. Secrets start flying across the room as each character blurts out personal confessions. Papadakis admits he was really sleeping in the laundry room because of his roommate. He was there because he saw Shah quietly moving his pillow and blanket into the office and felt sorry for him. It was, in his words, the saddest thing he had ever seen, and he's from Cedar Rapids. The emotional climax comes when Maggie finally reveals her biggest secret. She has feelings for Major Shah. The truth serum forces Shah to respond in kind, confessing that he loves Maggie as well. Colonel Quinn is absolutely horrified by this revelation. Rick, still under the serum's influence, can understand why Maggie would choose Shah over him. Maggie and Shah talk privately about the complicated situation. Shah worries that a relationship could damage Maggie's career, but Maggie insists she does care. Even so, they ultimately acknowledge that the timing may not be right. Meanwhile, Quinn and McLeod eventually realize the truth. There is no mole at Stroopsdorf. The entire situation was caused by misunderstandings, paranoia, and a spectacular misuse of truth serum. Tinker Tailor Colonel Spy is one of the show's most delightfully strange episodes. The truth serum plotline creates a perfect excuse for the characters to say everything they've been holding back all season, and the results are both hilarious and oddly heartfelt. Most importantly, the episode finally pushes Maggie and Shah's relationship into the open. Now that everyone knows how they feel about each other, including Colonel Quinn, the show has a whole new dynamic to explore moving forward. It's unclear how Maggie and Shah will continue working together under these circumstances, but that tension should make the rest of the season even more interesting. Rating: 4 out of 5 stars.